Good afternoon and welcome inside Elin Ice Arena on the campus of the University School of Milwaukee. Happy New Year, everybody. Great to have you along this afternoon. Cam McGuire up high above rinkside to bring you today's action as your University School of Milwaukee Wildcats take on the Stevens Point Panthers for a non-conference matchup, as the Wildcats coming in with an overall record of 9-1, riding a 4-game winning streak into the contest. For the Stevens Point Panthers, obviously a non-conference opponent out of the Wisconsin Valley Conference, coming in with an overall record of 5-3 on the season. And for the Panthers, they've played 3 of the same teams that the Wildcats have played so far this season. We'll get on into that a little bit later on throughout the broadcast, as the Wildcats coming off a 7-0 win up at DC Everest on Wednesday night. We get set and ready to go, and we'll drop the puck for period number 1. Puck is down and we're under play here on this Saturday afternoon, 2:13 Central Standard Time. Here comes Noah Egbali over to Ethan Mann, back to Egbali, and it went off the defenseman's skate and trickles into the corner. Wildcats starting up front with Ben Malosi, Noah Egbali, and Ethan Mann. Michael Kennedy and Michael Vogel will go to work on the back end as the Panthers ice the puck here 25 seconds into the opening frame, and the Wildcats will swap out their defensive pair. Mentioned the similar opponents so far this season for the Panthers, as Mann will take the face-off for the Wildcats. It's taken over by Jacob Sankey for Stevens Point. The senior forward will lug it through center. Puck battle ensues on the far side. Dasher of the red line squirts free to Ethan Mann, coming off a 4-point game at DC Everest. Over to Egbali. Hops over the forehand of Egbali, the top of the left circle. And number 12 in white for the Wildcats, Ethan Mann, recollects. Wildcats in their home white uniforms, navy helmets, navy pants with yellow down the side, and the blue throughout the chest. And Malosi tripped up on the play, delayed penalty call, and the Wildcats will go to work on their first power play of the afternoon. Just 62 seconds into the contest, 2 minutes for tripping, and it will be the captain, Cale Bolton, who will get the gate. It'll be Woods, Els, McGregor, Vogel, and Cox to start the power play. Woods wins the face-off, back to the right point to Cox. Wrist shot blocked down, loose in front. Gathered up by the Panthers, sent the length of the ice by Trevor Herman, where the starting goaltender for University School, Michael Polston, comes out to stick it down and leaves it for Michael Vogel. Cox through his own zone, pass over to the left wing side to Jack McGregor. McGregor sends it over to Woods. Now Woods will guide it on into the near corner. Vogel can't hold the left side of the line and will race after it back in his own ends. Panthers in the midst of a line change. Vogel quickly up to Els. Peter Els out to Reed Woods below the right circle. Off the side of the cage, flocked up by Stevens Point. Through the neutral zone, here comes the other captain, number 11, Cade Smyga. Smyga gets it over to the left side to number 8, Mason Keller. Keller's shot just wide. Keller regains possession at the top of the line. Minute gone by here in the Wildcats power play, 14:56 to go in the opening frame. No score here between the Wildcats and the Panthers. Here comes Brady Dillingham, the senior forward. Carries it on his backhand. A right-handed shot from the outer hash marks will play it off the end glass and scooped up by the Wildcats. Tomes over to Malosi. Tomes, Malosi, Egbali, Mann, and Kehoe. Tomes cuts to the middle, drops back for Malosi, picked off by Brady Dillingham, and it's worked back out through center. Tapped down by Charlie Kehoe. 24 seconds left on the 2-minute tripping call to Stevens Point, Cale Bolton. Egbali over to Mann. Left point, Mann over to the right circle to Egbali, below the right dot. Nifty move to get around the defender. Below the left circle, over to Ethan Tomes. Back to Mann. 5 seconds left on the power play. Kennedy shot redirected by Malosi, And a save made by the 6'6" netminder Jonathan Naif, the junior goaltender, 6'6", 240 pounds. Gets the nod in net for the Panthers here this afternoon. And like we said, it's sophomore Michael Polston for the Wildcats. Just 3 seconds left on the power play. 2:59 gone by here in the opening frame. A scoreless hockey game and a face-off to the glove side of Naif. Thundercloud, Ringgold, and Woods, the 3 forwards down. Vogel and Kennedy will patrol the blue line. Dump back in behind the Wildcats goal line. Scooped up by Vogel and backhanded through the neutral zone. Back to flag this one down is Simon Bienvenu. Bienvenu, number 4, junior defenseman, 5'8", 180 pounds, sends it to the near side. Ringgold racing after the loose puck for the Wildcats in the near corner. The senior forward on a 3-game point streak, a goal and an assist against DC Everest on Wednesday. 5 points across that 3-game streak. And the Panthers carry it on into the offensive end but go offside. 13-19 left here in the opening stanza. Still no score. So we mentioned those 3 opponents that these two teams have played against. For the Panthers, against Edgewood, a 6-3 win. For USM, a 7-4 win. For Fond du Lac Springs, who the Wildcats saw last week, a 4-2 win. The Panthers were upended against them 5-1 on December 8th. And both teams able to thump DC Everest. Earlier in December, the Panthers, a 13-3 win over DC Everest. And we mentioned that 7-0 win for the Wildcats over DC Everest on Wednesday. Puck played back into the Panthers' end. First one there is McGregor to Tomes. Big save made from Naif as Jack McGregor collected the puck behind the goal line. Sent it over to Ethan Tomes. And the big netminer, Jonathan Naif, able to make the save. Offensive zone face-off here to come for USM. Tomes takes the draw. Els at the left wing, McGregor at the right. Panthers win it back, collected, however, by the Wildcats. McGregor tried to center it just slightly off the near post to Els. As USM looks to regain possession, their attacking end all the way down to our left. McGregor, far corner, out to the right point. Gets past Kennedy. Foot race here now. Vogel gets back. Trying to cut to the middle was Jamie Reif. And it's risen up into the goaltender, Michael Polston, who will elect for a face-off with 12:29 to go in the first period. Still no score. Man, Malosi, Egbali will enter the ice. Vogel and Kennedy will stay on. Malosi will take the draw against the sophomore leading scorer for the Panthers, Cade Smyga. Out to the right point. Here's Bienvenu. Egbali trying to chop it free. Leaves it back for Vogel. Vogel to Kennedy. Up to Malosi. Kept alive at the line by Brady Dillingham. Man gets it. Over to Egbali, right side across the attacking line. Now at the right dot. Wrist shot sent just wide. Cox keeps it in the attacking end at the left side of the line. Rolls the puck along the end boards. Squirts free to the far side half wall. 11:55 to go here in the first period. Still no score, but the Wildcats pressuring here in the attacking end. Kennedy comes for a change, so Henry Stone enters. 2-on-2 rush. Down the left side is Jacob Sankey. Sankey trying to find Smyga in the high slot. Has his pocket picked. Good play by the forward Noah Egbali. Malosi up to Ethan Mann. Pulls up. Top of the left circle. Peels away from pressure. Now to the high slot. Here's Mann. Holding on his forehand. Wrist shot. Right leg save made from Naif. And the rebound sitting there, but no one could bang it home. It's played back out to the neutral zone. Taken over by Ringgold. 1-on-1. Ringgold pulls to the forehand. Poked off his stick by the junior defenseman Cale Bolton. And sent into the far corner. Feathered up by Luka Weinkoff. Weinkoff's pass intercepted by Ringgold. Ringgold, high slot, pulls to the backhand. Shot sticked aside by Naif. Woods arrives at the scene in the near corner. Now Ringgold applies pressure. Kyler Ringgold battling in the offensive end behind the goal line. Woods trying to bump Herman off the puck. And Herman will send it to the far side. Panthers struggling to clear here with 10:45 to go in the opening stanza. Wildcats looking to put the first score on the board here this afternoon. Middle of the line change. Vogel and Kennedy on the back end. Woods, Ringgold, And Thundercloud still up front. Panthers will gain the red line, dump it on in, and go for a change. Polston tries to leave it for Michael Vogel behind the cage. Instead, it's Matthew Iden who takes control. Wildcats able to regain possession back through the neutral zone. Woods applies the body right in front of the Panthers bench. Kennedy across the blue line. Shot waffled away off the glove of Naif into the far corner. McGregor's there trying to find Tomes. It went just behind him. Jack McGregor, freshman, gets it back. Shot zipped just wide from the top of the right dot. Vogel plays it back behind the goal line. McGregor, Tomes, and Els out up front. Ethan Tomes has it on his forehand. Tries to stutter step around Bienvenu. Picked off his stick by Logan Johnson for the Panthers. Wildcats got it back out to the right point. Kennedy, his shot tapped down right in front of the net. And here comes Logan Johnson, the sophomore forward for Stevens Point. But it's corralled up by the Wildcats. Flung on into the offensive end by Peter Els, who arrives at the scene. First one in on the forecheck. Els, McGregor, and Tomes pressuring here in the offensive end. Stone and Cox on the back end. Good stick from senior defenseman Garrett Cox. Panthers control through center. Here comes Brady Dillingham. Dillingham, off-angle shot, raises over the crossbar from the near side goal line. 9:06 to go here in the opening frame. Still no score between the Wildcats and the Panthers. Henry Stone lugs it through center, takes the hit to make the play. He's able to get it deep, but quickly through transition. Here come the Panthers. One of the captains, Cade Smyga, you mentioned the sophomore forward. He's leading the Panthers with 30 points in 8 games this season, 14 goals. Molosi tries to cut to the high slot. Puck squirts to the far side to Mann, who takes a hit up high from Jacob Sankey. No call on the play. Mann back up on his feet. Out with Igbali and Molosi. Kennedy and Cox on the back end. Panthers able to pull the puck free. Dillingham gets across Cox. Now Cox has to drag down Dillingham. Delayed penalty call. And it will be a hooking call against Garrett Cox with 8:19 to go in the first period. Stevens Point heads on their first power play of the afternoon. Ethan Tomes will take the defensive zone draw out up front with Kyler Ringgold, Michael Vogel, and Michael Kennedy on the blue line. Panthers go to work on their first power play of the afternoon, and a good face-off win by Tomes sent the length of the ice. Penalty kill this season for the Wildcats has been very good, clicking at 93%. Panthers shake it in the offensive end. Mason Keller has his pocket picked by Tomes. Up to Kyler Ringgold. Ringgold able to clear it the length of the ice. Naif comes out of his cage and he'll tap it down for Cade Smyga. Smyga 5'7", 150 pounds. Out through the neutral zone. Over to the near side to Cale Bolton. Mann and Molosi now up front for the Wildcats, and Mann will play it off the glass and it'll trickle down the length of the ice. 1:10 to go on the 2-minute hooking call to USM's Garrett Cox. 7:23 here to go in the first period. As Henry Stone plays it over to the near side to Marcus Thundercloud. Thundercloud's clearing effort, tapped down at the right side of the line by Smyga. Over to Bolton. Toe save made from Polston as Cale Bolton with the shot from the far circle. And Polston had a slide over to the near post, make the left toe save. And it's the Panthers back in their own end as they'll work the breakout here. Mason Keller, sophomore defenseman, shakes it out to the neutral zone over to the left wing side to Jacob Sankey. Sankey back to Matthew Iden. Iden, left side of the line. Wrist shot well off target. Scooped up near half boards by Logan Johnson, who tries to center it to the high slot, taken over by the Wildcats Ringgold. 12 seconds left here on the power play for the Panthers. 6:28 to go in the first period. Good play by Thundercloud, and he'll fling it the length of the ice. Wildcats back at full strength, so both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Taking a spill in front of his own cage there was number 22, Luka Weinkoff. And Egbali almost had a one-on-one chance right at the top of the crease with Naif. Instead, it's USM back in their own end. Woods, Tomes, and Ringgold out front. Vogel and Kennedy on the back end. Tyler Ringgold sends it over to Reed Woods, and we'll go for a change. Peter Ells enters the ice. Tomes in on the forecheck behind the goal line. Good job by Ells, able to knock it off the stick of the freshman defender, Tyler Loomis. Panthers able to send it the length of the ice. And it'll be an icing call against Stevens Point with 5:33 to go in the opening period. No score here between the Panthers and the Wildcats. Offensive zone draw here for USM. Ethan Tomes will take it. Jack McGregor lined up at the right wing. Peter Ells at the left. Henry Stone at the left point. Wins it to Ells. Ells' wrist shot. Looked like it got a piece of the blocker of Naif and up into the back glass. Collected by McGregor. Cox at the right point. So it's Cox and Stone on the blue line. Ells takes over. Nice pass to McGregor. Cuts to the high slot. Forehand shot. Right leg save by Naif. The rebound, and Ells scores. Wildcats take a 1-0 lead. Great play from freshman Jack McGregor. Naif made the right leg save. And then it was Peter Ells who was there to bury home the rebound. Wildcats 1, Panthers 0, 5:14 to go in the opening period. Restart at center ice, won by the Wildcats. So it's Peter Ells from Jack McGregor. At 12:46 of the first period, Ells' 8th goal this season after a goal on Wednesday at DC Everest. The senior forward has USM on the board. Face-off just outside of the Panthers' blue line, Malosi, Egbali, and Mann as Malosi wins the draw. Stone and Cox will hold down the fort on the blue line. Shot from Smyga, sent hard off the backboards. Henry Stone over to Ethan Mann. A lot of speed through center. 3-on-2 here for the Wildcats. Mann, right circle, right dot, trying to find Malosi off the long left leg of Jonathan Naif. Mann gets it back. Out to the top of the left circle to Vogel. His shot knocked down. Egbali gets it back. Backhand shot, turnaround. Malosi's there for the rebound, and he scores just like that. 2-0 lead for USM as Ben Malosi able to scoop home the rebound for his 10th goal of the season. So it was started with the rush of Mann. Egbali with the backhand shot. Right leg save from Naif. And Malosi able to bang home the rebounds. So goals within 46 seconds of one another for the Wildcats. Malosi from Egbali. Play resumes through center ice. Vogel scoops it up in his own end. Sends it over to Thundercloud. Kennedy now battling in the near corner. Kennedy and Vogel. Two defenders on, Ringgold, Thundercloud, and Woods on the blue line. Ringgold arrives at the scene, able to corral it for the Wildcats. Great pass up to Reed Woods, but just behind him had to turn his head back to try and locate it, but just slid through his feet. Wildcats will dump it on in behind the Panthers' goal line, and will work a line change here. Panthers shaking out through center, far side. Logan Johnson trying to knife at it. Good pinch from Garrett Cox. Lifted back into the Stevens Point ends. Cox now slaps it up to Axel Moe. Moe will guide it on into the near corner. Now it's the Panthers in transition through center. Mo forward and right. 3 forwards out. Cox and Keogh on the blue line. Shaking into the offensive end now is Cale Bolton. Long range shot sticked off by Polston into the far corner. Ford tied up in the corner, drops it back for Kehoe. The captain will spin it on over to Cox. Cox over to Wright. Wright passes it up to Mo off his stick. Played now by Loomis. And Kehoe settles it down behind his own blue. Mo and Ford collided with one another at the red line. Still make their way to the bench. An icing call against the Wildcats. 2:23 to go in the first period. Peter Ells and Ben Malosi have USM on top. 2-0. Defensive zone face-off here. To the blocker side of Polston. Ethan Tomes, Peter Ells, and Jack McGregor. 3 forwards out. Kennedy and Vogel will battle to get the puck out. Cade Smyga corrals it on the backhand. Takes a check from Tomes. Tumbles to the ground. Puck play to the near side, half boards. McGregor sends it hard along the kick plate, and it will go the length of the ice. Another icing call, 1:59 to go here in the opening frame. 2-0 lead for USM over Stevens Point here on this Saturday afternoon. Tomes takes the draw, wins it back to Vogel, senior defender. Plays it off the back wall to Kennedy, now up to Ells, now to McGregor through center. McGregor at the red line takes a hit from behind from Cale Bolton. And USM will go to work on their second power play of the game. It's actually Mason Keller who gets the gate, 2 minutes. And the Wildcats go to work on the man advantage. That's a roughing call to Keller. Wildcats win the draw. Kehoe walks the line, wrist shot redirected wide. Ethan Tomes corrals the puck, top of the left point, over to Malosi. Back to Tomes. Egbali at the right circle, man behind the cage, redirected from Malosi into the stomach of Nafe. The shot coming courtesy of Kehoe at the right point. We'll reset at the face-off circle here. Man takes the draw. Egbali at the right wing, Malosi at the left. Kehoe right point, Tomes left point. Man and Malosi switch as Man's kicked out of the circle. Malosi wins the draw. Kehoe walks the line. Spins it over to Egbali right circle. Man behind the goal line. Great pass to Tomes. Shot sent just wide. Nafe got a piece of it on the stick, it looked like. And now the Panthers able to clear the length of the ice. 1:25 left in the power play. 1:12 to go here in the first period. Wildcats 2, Panthers nothing. Here comes Ethan Mann. He'll wind up in his own end. He'll take it the length of the ice. Right circle with it on his forehand. Behind the cage, great feed to Egbali, and he scores. Power play goal for the Wildcats. Ethan Mann sets up Noah Egbali, and USM on top 3-0 with 59.7 seconds to go in the opening period. Face-off back at center ice. Won by Stevens Point. So Egbali gets his team leading 11th goal on the season. And here come the Wildcats as they work it out of their own end. Thundercloud gets it up to Ringgold, one-on-one. Pulls to the forehand. Good stick from senior forward Brady Dillingham. Right point. Vogel sends a wrister. Punched away by Nafe. Gathered up by USM. Woods to Ringgold. Ringgold, saucer pass, right point to Kennedy. Walks the line, wrist shot, sticked off by Nafe. 17 seconds to go here in the first period. Vogel trying to bat at the loose puck near side half boards in the offensive end. But it'll be dumped back into the Wildcats end to our right, and Kennedy will eat the clock away behind the cage. Horn will sound. Conclusion of the first period is in the books, and a 3-0 lead for the Wildcats. Peter Els strikes first with Jack McGregor collecting the helper. Then just moments later, Ben Malosi from Noah Egbali at 12:38. And then the most recent tally coming on the power play with just 59 seconds left. It was Egbali's team leading 11th of the year with the assist going to Mann. 3-0 after the first frame. Shots in favor of the Wildcats, 14-4. We'll take a pause in the action and we'll come back and talk to you when we return for period number 2 right around the corner. And we welcome you back for period 2 as the puck is down and we're underway as the Wildcats will operate right to left here in the second period. They hold a 3-0 lead through 17 minutes of play. Peter Els, Ben Malosi, and Noah Egbali, the goal scorers in the first period. Egbali's coming on the power play with just 59 seconds left. Quick stretch pass up to Ethan Mann, left circle. Pass came courtesy of Michael Vogel, but a good job by Mason Keller to get back and disrupt the opportunity from Mann. Panthers back out through center. Here comes Jacob Sankey, the senior forward. Long-range shot, patted aside into the near corner by Polston. Shots in favor of USM, 14-4 through the first 17 minutes of play. Panthers get a shot there, sticked off by Polston once again. Out to the left side of the line, Simon Benevue, wrister, knocked down as it was redirected wide. Vogel now gathers in his own ends. Pass up the far side wall, just ahead of Mann. Now Mann plays it back for Egbali. Panthers able to regain possession. Good stick from Mann. They'll dump it deep and go for a change. Els, McGregor, and Tomes out up front. Wildcats go offside. Minute and 20 gone by here in the second period of play. Face off just outside of the Stevens Point blue line. Tomes will take the draw. Peter Els at the right wing. Jack McGregor at the left wing. Tomes wins it cleanly free. Takes a hit up high from Gavin Obremski. No call on the play. Charlie Kehoe at the left side of the line. Garrett Cox at the right point. Els forces a turnover. Els spins it behind the goal line. Finds the stick of McGregor. McGregor now skates to the near side. Sends it over to Ethan Tomes. Tomes walks up the near side wall. Over to the left point to the captain, Charlie Kehoe. Back to Tomes. His shot blocked away by the shins of the sophomore forward, Matthew Iden. Wildcats get it back, controlling in the offensive end here directly below us. Els walks far circle. Off the shins of Iden once again. Finds the stick of number 11 in white, Jack McGregor. Works the cycle with Els. Thundercloud now out on the ice. Els cuts to the high slot. Shot didn't make its way to the cage. Was blocked down by Luka Weinkoff for Stevens Point. And the Panthers will settle it down back in their own end and look to break it out here. 14:35 to go in the second period. It's been all Wildcats in the first 2.5 minutes of play. But now it's back in their defensive end all the way to our left. Woods, Thundercloud, and McGregor out up front. Kehoe and Cox on the blue line. McGregor chips it freely to Woods. Woods down the left side, one-on-one. Trying to pull it to the backhand. Sticked off his stick by number 8, Mason Keller. Then got it back, tried to send it to the high slot to Thundercloud. Back out to center, however. Cale Bolton, junior defender, rings the iron. And it's back out through the center ice logo. Bolton trying to sweep it on into the far corner. Taken over, shot from Caleb Meyer. Glove save made by Polston, left the rebound, then pulled it in, electing for the face-off. 3:10 gone by here in the second period. Still a 3-0 lead for USM. Marcus Thundercloud, Kyler Ringgold, and Reed Woods, the three forwards on. Another save made by Polston after a face-off win by the Panthers. Michael Vogel and Michael Kennedy on defense. Thundercloud takes the draw against Brady Dillingham. Dillingham wins it back right side of the line to Bolton. Bolton to Smyga. His shot picked off. Here comes Ringgold through center. Across the red line. Over the left side to Woods. Woods pulls up on his off wing. Trying to center Thundercloud, streaking through the high slot. Smyga able to force the turnover and work it back through center ice. Dumps it on into the near corner. First one back is Kennedy. His pass picked off by Loomis, top of the point. Right leg save by Polston. Puck free now behind the goal line. Feathered up by Brady Dillingham. The captain works near side half wall. Pass intercepted by Mann, and Mann will shake it out through center. Across the red line, left wing side. Puck skitters off his stick in the near corner, forces a turnover. Pass over to Egbali, scores! What a feed from Ethan Mann to Noah Egbali. as the two connect for the second time this afternoon, and the Wildcats take a 4-0 lead on Igbali's second of the game, coming 4 minutes into the second period. Restart at center ice. Man, Malosi, and Igbali stay on the ice. And Igbali, pass over to Henry Stone, senior defenseman across the blue line. Sends it to the near side half wall. Out to the right point to Cox. Now behind the cage to Mann, center to Malosi, near side post. His shot redirected wide. Puck's free in the far corner. Good job from Ben Malosi. Able to wedge it up to the left point. Stone walks the line. Rister into the skates of Iden. Malosi gets it back. Top of the line. Now works to the middle. Wrist shot blocked down. Gets it back. Backhand shot. Left leg saved by Naif. Igbali trying to find Malosi. Igbali holds. Right dot. Wrist shot redirected wide off the stick of the forward in front, Trevor Herman. Stone gets it back. Behind the end line to Mann. Mann ties it up against the kick plate. 1-on-2 battle. Igbali arrives at the seam. Mann able to squeeze it free to Igbali. Igbali back down low to Mann. Ethan Mann walking top of the slot. Finally knocked off the puck by Matthew Iden. Panthers forced to clear. And an icing call with 11:39 left in the second period. Wildcats 4, Panthers 0. See an offensive zone face-off here. Axel Moe, Christian Ford, and Thomas Wright up front. Max Simononik and Charlie Keogh on the blue line. Mason Keller with the stretch pass. Too hot to handle for Dillingham, and a back-to-back icing call against the Panthers. Face off directly below us here, won by Moe for the Wildcats, but taken over by Sankey for the Panthers. Across the attacking line, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Good job from the senior captain defenseman Charlie Keogh to slide it off the puck of Sankey. And here comes Christian Ford up to Thomas Wright, plays it off the near boards. Now Moe will try to free it up. He does right in front of the Wildcats bench. Over to Simononik. Simononik gets across. Has his pocket picked by Keller. Here comes Keller across the red line. Back pressure from the forward Ethan Tomes for the Wildcats. And now he'll push it free to Els. Near corner in their defensive end. USM looks for a breakout. Instead it's going to be a shot pass in the back of the net. Great look from number 19, Logan Johnson, who finds Brady Dillingham in front of the net, right on the far post. And the Panthers get on the board for the first time here this afternoon. It'll be Dillingham from Johnson. At 6:19 of the middle frame. Restart at center ice. Wildcats go with McGregor, Tomes, and Els. Vogel and Kennedy on the blue line. Puck played through center. Cale Bolton, the junior defenseman for the Panthers. And Stevens Point will go offside. So Keller gets the secondary assist on the Dillingham goal at 6:19. The primary goes to Johnson. McGregor sends it behind the goal line for the Wildcats, delayed offside. Here comes Gavin Obremski, the freshman defenseman. Tries a pass over to the right side, out of the reach of Caleb Meyer, and back through center ice. McGregor nicely done to Ethan Tomes, left circle with it on the forehand, pulls to the backhand, pestered on the play, good back pressure from the Panthers. Johnson looking for the clear, cannot however. Els near side half-board, spin pass to Vogel, great feed, Vogel raised it just high, looked like it got redirected as it catches the end glass. Els centering feed to Ringgold, now Woods finds it and scores. 5-1 Wildcats. Reed Woods gets his third of the year. Face off back at center. 5-1 lead now. Reed Woods at 7:32 of the second period. Takes a check in the far corner in the offensive end. Stone now bats it free, neutral zone. Up to Woods, skating after a loose puck with Tyler Loomis. Woods delivers the check on Loomis on the backboards. Thundercloud trying to locate it in his feet. Gets it out to the right point to Cox. Spins it over to the left side of the line to Stone. Stone rolls it along the end wall. Near side half boards to Thundercloud. Back to Cox. His heavy drive. Stick to side by Nath. Woods gets it back behind the cage. Over to Ringgold. Now back through center. Thundercloud across the blue line. Sweeps it over to Ringgold. Picked off. Ringgold recovers, gets it back. Man's wrister. Flutters high off the glass. And it's lifted back out through center by Mason Keller. And an icing call assessed to the Panthers. Just a little over halfway gone here in the second. 5-1 lead for USM. Egbali and Woods, the goal scorers here in this middle frame. Face off directly below us. Mann takes it for USM. It's won by Smyga for the Panthers. As he gets a stretch pass through the center ice logo off his backhand. Back to retrieve it is Charlie Keogh. Keogh up to the near side half boards to Mann. Lift for Malosi. Here's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. And it just got free from the Wildcats. Egbali, Malosi, and Mann up front. Simononik and Keogh on the back end. Panthers ice the puck. 7:38 to go in the middle stanza. 5-1 lead here for the Wildcats. Face off one. Egbali zips it just wide. Simononik at the right point. Over to Mann. Taps it to Egbali looking for the hat trick. High slot. Races after the loose puck. Tries to bump it back to the left point. Intercepted by Brady Dillingham. And lofted back out through center. Wildcats get it back. Mann to Malosi at the attacking line. Left side now they drift over. Panthers able to force a turnover. Smyga back through center. His backhand clear. Goes the length of the ice. And another icing against Stevens Point with 7:06 to go in the second. Wildcats lead it 5-1. Face off directly below us here. Combs, Els, McGregor. Shot from Kennedy at the right point. Banks off the back wall. Michael Vogel at the left side of the line. Tomes battling for the puck with McGregor, far side half boards. Now it's Tomes who collects. Pushed up against the boards by number 8, Mason Keller. Keller now gathers. Pass up the middle to Jamie Reeve. Wildcats back in their own end to feather up a loose puck. And Els will lift it in the offensive end. McGregor the first one there for the Wildcats. One-on-one now in the corner. Sweeps it to the cage. Stick to side by Nath. Now it's freed up by Keller for the Panthers. Keller racing through center. Tries to get past Vogel. Will dump it behind the goal line. Picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy with it on his forehand, near circle in the defensive end. Leaves it for Ethan Tomes. Tomes through center. Across the blue line. Kicks it out to the left side to Ells. A heavy drive sent wide off the backboards. Now Kennedy will lay it back into the near corner. Takes the hit, makes the play. Ringgold in on the forecheck. Wedges it behind the goal line. Cade Kurzinski up the near side. Taps it back to the far side now. Far side half boards. Woods forces the turnover. The most recent goal scorer, Reed Woods, at 7:32. Putting the Wildcats on top 5-1. And it squeezes its way back out to center ice. Stone over to Ringgold. Ringgold trying to headman passes up to Marcus Thundercloud. And now Thundercloud collects behind the goal line. Ringgold, Thundercloud, and Woods in on the forecheck. Stone pinches down left side of the line. Nicely done. Thundercloud sends it to Stone left point. Over to Woods left circle. On his forehand. Loses the puck for a second. Gets it back. Great feed to Thundercloud. His shot sent just wide. Redirected. Cox pinches right point. Centering feed. Out to Stone left circle. His shot stick to side. Rebound was there for Thundercloud. Couldn't corral it on the stick. Bumps it down low to Ringgold. Ringgold and Woods behind the goal line. And now it's back out through center, Logan Johnson. 4:41 left here in the second period. USM leading at 5-1. Els, Malosi, Woods, and Egbali with two, the goal scorers here this afternoon. The lone tally for the Panthers, Brady Dillingham, the senior forward. Cale Bolton out of his own end, on the move through center. Pass over to the near side to Keller. Keller sends it behind the goal line. Takes a big hit from Cox. Panthers looking to set it up here in the offensive end. Out to the right point, Bolton walks the line. Wrist shot snatched away by Polston. He'll hold on for no further play with 3:59 left in the second period. 5-1 lead for USM. Face-off coming just outside of the Wildcat blue line. Dillingham and Malosi. Face-off won by the Panthers. Bolton, his pass picked off. And now here comes Egbali looking for the hat trick. Tries to toe pull around Loomis. Wedged off his stick. Man will wind up through center, finding Egbali over to Malosi. Malosi trying to kick it free. Out to the left point to Kehoe. Now the puck will reverse to the near side half wall. Vogel was over at the middle of the point, back in his own end to retrieve it. So the goal from Woods at 7:32. Tyler Ringgold and Peter Els collect the helpers. As man back in the offensive end, below left circle, pass over to Egbali off the stick of number 9. That was the defenseman Gavin Obremski. And now Malosi, long range shot. End of the change, sticked off by Nath. And the three Wildcats forwards will go for a line change. Vogel back in his own end. Trying to find McGregor, picked off. Here's Smiga, cuts to the high slot, trying to find Dillingham on the far side post. Taken over by Tomes for the Wildcats. McGregor across the center ice logo. Now over to Els, top of the left circle. Wrist shot sent just wide. And McGregor collects. Back down low to Els. Great feed to Tomes. Tomes was bothered up by Smiga and couldn't get all the wood that he wanted on it. Back out through the neutral zone. Nifty move here by Luka Weinkauf. Weinkauf raises it off the iron. Looked like it caught the crossbar as Weinkauf was cutting on the far goal line. McGregor back through the middle. Left side. Weinkauf collects. He'll wedge this one and it'll roll the length of the ice. And an icing call with under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. The Wildcats 5, the Panthers 1. Wildcats got goals 54 seconds apart from one another in the first period. Els from McGregor, Molosi from Egbali at 13:46 and 12:38. Then with 59 seconds left in the first period, it was Egbali from man on the power play. Egbali from man once again in the second, 4 minutes in. And Reed Woods, the fifth goal here this afternoon from Ringgold and Els at 7:32. Offensive zone face-off here. Thundercloud has Woods lined up behind his left shoulder. Ringgold to his right. Won by the Panthers. Here comes Mason Keller. Keller over to Bolton. Bolton leads the pass up for Iden. Out of his reach, icing once again to Stevens Point. Face-off coming at the near circle this time. Puck down at the circle. And played back through center. And now back behind the blue line. Cox will pick it up for the Wildcats. Back out to Thundercloud. Thundercloud, left circle. Knocked off his stick by Bolton. Thundercloud will tap it down for Woods. And now Thundercloud races behind the cage. Back down low. 43.5 seconds to go here. And now Ringgold, high slot, turnaround shot, blocked down, right toe save from Nath. Back out through center. .25 seconds left to go here. And it's played by Smyga. Batted back out through the neutral zone. Shot redirected wide. Now played down, 5 seconds to go. Horn will sound. Two periods of play are in the books. The Wildcats take a 5-1 lead to the dressing room after 2 periods. Second period goal scorers Noah Egbali and Reed Woods, Ethan Mann, Kyler Ringgold, and Peter Els with assists for the Wildcats. Brady Dillingham, the lone goal for the Panthers, with Logan Johnson and Mason Keller collecting helpers. We'll step aside for the second intermission, and we'll see you when we return for the third period coming up next. And we welcome you back for the third period as the Wildcats lead the Stevens Point Panthers to score 5-1 through 2 periods of play. Face-off at center ice, won by the Panthers as Smiga tries to send it over to Brady Dillingham, who had the lone goal for the Panthers here in this contest, coming in the second period for the Wildcats. 2 goals in that middle frame. Shot, big save made by Polston. Shot came from Mason Keller. Egbali and Woods, the goal scorers in the second for the Wildcats. As here comes Ben Malosi, leaves it for Egbali. Egbali, Malosi, and Mann, the forward unit, who will start the third period here. Mann delivers a big check in front of the Panthers bench. Now it's played back into the far corner. Malosi delivers the check on Dillingham. And now it's tapped down and played by Keogh, and it looks like we're going to have offsetting penalties to Mann and Sankey exactly a minute into the third period. So Mann and Sankey will sit. Coincidental minors will skate 5-a-side. Tomes wins the face-off. McGregor quickly on the horse. Over to Peter Ells across the blue line. Ells a saucer pass to McGregor. Sticked aside by Naif. Picked up by Tomes. Picked off by Loomis. Puck played now behind the goal line. Ells, centering feed to Tomes. Heavy shot from Keogh, sent wide after it was redirected. Now Keogh will settle it down behind the goal line. Sets up shop behind Polston. Woods in on the forecheck. And Cox now behind his own goal line. 14:34 here to go in the third period. Panthers need to answer quickly. Polston settles it down behind his own cage, leaves for Cox. Cox's pass tapped down at the left point by Gavin Obremski. Johnson, goal line. Tried to shovel it on the backhand. Shot won't go. Cox settles it down for the Wildcats, and he'll loft it out through center. Ringgold, Woods, and Thundercloud out up front. Ringgold forces the turnover. Forehand shot and a left leg save made from Naif. Jonathan Naif with a big save after Ringgold intercepted the pass in the high slot. Ringgold comes for a change as Wright enters the ice for USM. Cox will tap it down at the center ice logo. Quick pass up to Wright. Takes the hit from Keller. Right now it's Cale Bolton across the blue line. Bolton will send it on in behind the goal line. It's tapped down by Michael Kennedy. Logan Johnson collects for the Panthers. Johnson circles out to the near side. Near side half wall. Johnson trying to center it to the high slot off the skate of Cox. And Christian Ford will lay it out to the Panthers' end. Pass through the high slot. Here comes Brady Dillingham trying to get across by Vogel. Splits the defender, skates after the loose puck in the far corner. Knocked free. Now it's Kennedy. Knocked to the feet by Luka Weinkauf. Delayed penalty call against the Panthers. Carried through center by Ford. Extra attacker on. His pass picked off, and the Wildcats will go to work on the power play with 12:44 to go in the third period. As Luka Weinkoff gets the gate at 4:16 of the third. Man, Melosi, Egbali, Tomes, and Keogh out on the power play for USM. Egbali a power play goal in the first period. We'll see if the Wildcats can make it two. Egbali looking for the hat trick. Back out through center. Man will have to settle things down. And he'll wind up behind his own cage and take it for a skate. Has it knocked off his stick by Dillingham. Recovered nicely by Ethan Tomes. Tomes across the attacking line. Left circle. Shot trickles wide. Keogh pinches down from the right side of the line. Down low to the right corner to Egbali. Back to Keogh. Walks the point. Wrist shot directed by Melosi. Sent just wide. Man will settle it down near side half boards. Out to the left point to Tomes. Over to Keogh right point. His shot redirected by Melosi. Save made by Naif. Melosi gathers the rebound. Far side half wall. Banks it down low to Man. Man and Egbali battling in the far circle. And Dillingham comes out with it for Stevens Point. He'll sail at the length of the ice. 48 seconds to go on the power play. 11:30 to go in the third period. Man circles behind his own cage. Racing through the neutral zone. Across the center ice logo. Nifty move to the backhand. Shot save made by Nave. Man takes it from goal line to goal line. Splits the defenders in his backhand shot. Saved by Jonathan Naif. Face-off blocker side of Naif. Reed Woods, Jack McGregor, and Kyler Ringgold. McGregor near side half boards. Woods breaks the stick, has to go for a change, so Peter Ells enters the ice. Garrett Cox, right circle. Wrist shot snatched away by Naif. And held on for a face-off, 14 seconds left on the power play. 10:59 to go in the third. USM 5, Stevens Point 1. McGregor takes the face-off, wins it cleanly to the front of the cage, swept aside by Jonathan Naif. Els McGregor arrive at the scene, near side half wall, out to the top of the point to Vogel. Wrist shot, blocked down. Rebound loose in front, smothered up by the defender Mason Keller. Sophomore can't clear. Keller finally gets it back behind his own blue. And Stevens Point back to full strength. Power play expires for the Wildcats. Here's the senior Brady Dillingham. Dances around Cox, tries to pull to the forehand, swept aside by Vogel, and feathered up by Cox. Cox will lay it out to center, delayed penalty call. It's going to come against Cox. And Cox gets the gate 2 minutes for cross-checking. Stevens Point will head on the power play. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the final period. So it's actually going to be a 5-minute major for head contact to Cox. So the Wildcats will be shorthanded until the 5-10 minutes left in the third. They get a clear on the face-off. Naif comes out to play it, turns it over. Tomes picks it off. Tries to dance it around the post, and Naif finally got back and made the save. Great individual effort from number 1 in black for the Panthers. Brady Dillingham through center, across the red line. Drifts over to the far side. Dillingham peels away from pressure. Walks up the far side wall. Down low to Sankey. Indirect pass up to the left point to Bolton. Top of the line to Smyga. Picked off by Vogel. Vogel finds Mann. One-on-one. Ethan Mann down the left side with it on the forehand. Buying time. Tries to send it to Vogel just out of his reach. And the Panthers will regather in their own end. Just about a minute gone by here in the 5-minute call. Head contact against Garrett Cox. Panthers go offside. 9:16 left here in the third period. 5-1 lead for the Wildcats. Peter Ells, Ben Molosi, Reed Woods all with goals here this afternoon, and Noah Egbali with 2. Face-off just outside of the Wildcats blue line. Ringgold, Molosi, Kennedy, and Stone. Puck squirts free, far corner, picked off by Ringgold. Can't clear, Sankey regains possession. Now it's Molosi who gathers for the Wildcats, and he'll sail it the length of the ice. Nafe settles it down for Obremski. Back through center, good play from junior defenseman Michael Kennedy, and he'll clear it behind the Stevens Point goal line. Stretch pass to Lucas Weinkoff. Now back to the left point to Loomis. Right point to Obremski, who tried to find the streaking forward through the left circle. Instead it was redirected up into the ceiling. Stoppage of play, 3:17 left on the power play for the Panthers. 8:28 to go in the third period. USM on top 5-1. Face off one back, Bolton, left point. Being bothered by Ells. Spins it behind the goal line to Sankey. Ells gets the clearing effort the length of the ice. And Nafe comes out and will lay it for the forward, Cade Smyga. Back through center, Mason Keller, sophomore defenseman, lays it off the end boards. Back out to the near side, taken over by senior defender for the Wildcats, Michael Vogel, and cleared the length of the ice. 7:54 to go here in the third period. Wildcats lead it 5-1. Still shorthanded, another 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Last chance came courtesy of Noah Egbali. Vogel at his own blue line. Sends it far side. Panthers get the puck, however. Here comes Dillingham. Dillingham tries to get past Vogel. Good back support from Charlie Keogh. The captain sends it over the right wing side to Ells. Ells will hammer at the length of the ice. The Wildcats will go for a change. Thundercloud drifting at the blue line right now. Kennedy and Stone on the back end. Egbali will get this one deep and go for a change. Instead he collects, dances to the forehand shot. Save made by Nafe. After it was smashed at by Noah Egbali, controlling in the offensive end. Egbali carries it back out through center. Spins, gets it deep, and now he'll go for the change. 1:35 left in the power play for Stevens Point. 6:40 to go here in the third stanza. 5-1 lead for the Wildcats. Panthers, Mason Keller, left circle. Tries a centering feed to Dillingham at the top of the crease. Kennedy, a good defensive effort as he was draped over cleanly of Dillingham. And now Stone will guide it the length of the ice and go for a change with Kennedy. Kehoe and Vogel back out on the ice as Woods is battling behind the Panthers goal line. Frees up the loose puck. The first one there is the Panthers defender, Mason Keller, getting across the attacking line. Over to Logan Johnson, who fanned on the on the one-time effort. Woods tries to knock it through center, kept alive at the line by Tyler Loomis, but this time he can't hold it. Back out to the neutral zone. 36 seconds left in the Panther power play. 5:44 to go here in the third. No goals scored so far here in the third period, but the Wildcats lead at 5-1. Panthers ice the puck here. 5:34 to go in the third. Face-off will take place directly at center ice. McGregor takes it, man at the left wing. Kehoe, who is lined up at the right wing, smacks it back for Vogel. Now it's man across the attacking line. Wildcats short-handed. Man pulls to the backhand. Pocket picked in the high slot. Vogel regains possession for USM in the neutral zone. Man will play it back into the defensive end. Pass picked off. Here's Tyler Loomis. Loomis pulls to the forehand. Shot right into the breadbasket of Polston, who holds on for a faceoff. Back to full strength, so USM kills off the 5-minute major defensive zone draw. Man, Malosi, Egbali, Simononik, and Kennedy on the back ends. Puck squeezes here now near side. Half boards, Egbali frees it up for USM. Wildcats in transition. Kennedy trying to find man. Intercepted by Keller and played back into the USM ends. Max Simononik passed up to Egbali, picked off by Sankey. Out to the left point to Keller. Keller's wrist shot save made by Polston, and he'll hold on for no further play. 4:30 to go here in the third period. Wildcats leading at 5-1. Face-off, blocker side of Polston, won by Ethan Tomes. Out with Jack McGregor and Peter Els. Charlie Keogh and Henry Stone patrol the blue line. Keogh kicks it up to McGregor, racing across the blue line. Nifty move to the forehand, but it just got caught in the skates of the forward who was back in Cade Smyga. Pardon me, that was the defender, Cade Kurzinski. McGregor gets it back far corner. Elzen on the forecheck, arriving at the scene. Puck wiggles its way free to Kurzinski. Kurzinski on the move through center. Tries a pass directly at the blue line, trying to find Trevor Herman. Said it's taken over by the Wildcats, but not for long. Panthers get it back, left circle. Shot from Weinkoff, risen into the shin guards of Stone. Smyga battling the 11s with McGregor. McGregor's clearing effort, kept in by Keller. That's Obremski who will drag it out to the neutral zone. Just a little over 3 minutes to go here in the third period. USM up 5-1 here over the Stevens Point Panthers. As Ringgold has it knocked off his stick by Keller. Keller across the blue line. Trying to drop it back for Brady Dillingham. And just behind Dillingham and back deep in the Panthers' end. Cale Bolton over to Jacob Sankey. Out to Brady Dillingham. Dillingham up to Smyga. Smyga trying to find it at the right point to Bolton out of his reach. Back to the neutral zone. Thundercloud, Ringgold, and Woods. 3 forwards out. Kennedy and Vogel, the defensive unit on the ice for the Wildcats. Brady Dillingham down behind the goal line to Smyga. Delayed penalty call here against USM. Smyga controls, left side of the line. Keller, turnaround shot sent wide off the end wall. And Ringgold delivers the check on Weinkoff, and Kennedy goes to the box for USM. 2 minutes tripping. Stevens Point back on the power play. And timeout will be made here from the Panthers with 2:14 to go in the third. The Wildcats leading at 5-1. They'll be shorthanded. Malosi takes the face-off for the Wildcats. Defensive zone draw, wins it back. USM shorthanded. And here come the Panthers back through center. It's Mason Keller. Keller over to Dillingham. Dillingham back for Keller. Picked off by Vogel. Sails at the length of the ice. 1:30 to go in the third period. 5-1 lead for USM over Stevens Point. Dillingham, far corner. Good job by Stone, able to tie up Dillingham. Puck wedges its way free to Smyga at the left point. Smyga trying to get around pressure of Egbali. Egbali forces the turnover, tries to send it the length of the ice, was knocked down by the stick of Cale Bolton at the line. Now Bolton controls through center. Under a minute to go here in the third period. 5-1 lead for the Wildcats over the Panthers. Egbali with 2 goals here this afternoon. Woods, Els, and Malosi with the other 3. Racing through center was Keller, upended at the scorer's table by Tomes. Bolton across the line. His shot redirected wide. 26 seconds to go here, third period. Puck tied up far corner. Simononik knocks it free. Now Woods will loft it the length of the ice. And all 4 skaters will go for a change with just 10 seconds to go in the third period. USM back to full strength. One last clear into the offensive end for the Panthers. Horn will sound. And that will be win number 10 on the season for the University School Milwaukee Wildcats, who improved their overall record to 10-1 and increased their win streak to 5 games, a 5-1 victory over the Stevens Point Panthers here this afternoon. We mentioned 5 goals. Noah Egbali with 2, Peter Els with 1, Ben Malosi with 1, and Reed Woods with 1 as well. Jack McGregor an assist, Egbali an assist, Mann with 2, and Ringgold and Els also collect helpers here this afternoon. That'll do it for today's game, a 5-1 victory for the Wildcats. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.